YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok land. What's going on? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You know who it is. It is your man, Byron Williams, also known as Byron Music Man Williams. Yes, sir. I am here with EBWmultimedia, as always, in association with who that is? Nairobi 36 Fashion. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Let's get into this thing. You feel me? Anyways. Professional. All right. So the topic for today, man, I felt it was really and highly actually necessary and important to create this video right here. The difference, one of the differences between DSLR cameras and cinema cameras. So, the DSLR camera that I own is this camera here. It is the T6i Rebel series by Canon. This is the camera, my very first camera, and this is the one that I own still to this day, right? Now, this camera got me to where I'm at today. This is a really good camera, still to this day. It's a really good camera, and for any, anyone starting out, like I said, they've gotten, better than this, obviously. But anyways, this is the camera right here. The T6i Rebel series from Canon. That's the camera that I started on. This is the camera that I own today. And this is the one that we are filming with today. This particular camera, as you can see, it is the Blackmagic Pocket 4 Cinema camera. Let me say that again. The Blackmagic Pocket 4 Cinema camera. What is the difference between these cameras? So much. So much. So, the reason and the point with this particular video is because, like I said, I can go on for days about this, but however, when dealing with the DSLR camera, you have options such as stabilization right there in the camera itself. The camera itself has stabilization within the lens. So this T6i camera, I have lenses that you just click and flip a switch and it will stabilize that footage. So even if it's handheld, you still get a pretty decent and pretty clean, piece of footage. Not only does it have stabilization, however, you can also flip, click, touch a little switch, and it will instantly push you over into automatic focus. Automatic focus, pretty much self-explanatory. Whatever you aim that camera at, and you tell that camera to focus on that, no matter where that subject goes to, no matter you turning the camera, whatever it may be, that subject is and will always stay in focus, no matter what. Certain cameras have a certain breathing area, and what I mean by a breathing area, as far as the speed in which it actually captures, or they actually zoom into that particular subject that you're filming or taking a photo of. Again, DSLR camera and I'll specifically speak on and about the one that I had. Whew, my eye. The T6i Rebel camera from Canon. Still, I love that camera still to this day. That camera, I had the ability with the camera itself to stabilize the footage with the camera itself, with the lens, as well as being able to automatically set it to automatic focus to keep track of keep track of my subject. However, this guy right here, the Black Magic Pocket Camera 4K cinema camera, no stabilization, no autofocus. Why is that? Because these cameras are two different worlds, and these cameras are meant for two completely different types of filmmakers and creators. Now, if you're doing blogs and things of that nature, then this camera right here, the T6i, or just cameras in this general, selection, to me personally, that's a perfect camera to use, unless, like I said, but it's always going to be about preferences, always up to and about what the actual creator wants to use. However, this camera here, that camera works perfect to me personally. However, a cinema camera to me, and again, talking about me and my personal preference and what I purchased it for, I purchased the cinema camera to film cinema. Cinema meaning what? Cinema meaning movies. Yeah, I'll do some music videos, things of that nature. Even this YouTube video. This is what I use for my YouTube videos all the time. However, a cinema rig is, and again, we're not even talking about as far as how much it costs between these two. And again, you can see the difference of the prices right there. However, the biggest thing to me is when you step out to actually go and film, and when you have a cinema rig, it just draws, when you carrying it around, it just draws so much attention. When people see it, they just automatically think professional, which they should, because it is a professional grade camera and setup and rig and things. However, one of the another big thing about it is the quality that you film. And again, just talking about me and my experiences, the quality that I got and get out of this T6i camera versus the 4K camera, I mean, are just hands down. I mean, the quality is just undeniably different. And what most people don't get, what most people don't understand is, well, how is it that you can charge this much when you're filming with this camera, but you charge so much more when you're filming with that camera? For one, it's just like I said, the quality. It's the quality. It's the quality. And not only is it the quality, again, this particular camera over here, this DSLR camera, and this particular one, it does not and will never compare. It will never be able to compare to this cinema camera. With this DSLR camera, yeah, you can shoot a whole movie with it, and that movie will turn out great. It will turn out really good. There's a gentleman that actually filmed a whole feature film. I cannot remember his name. I have to look that up. But he filmed a whole feature film with a iPhone camera, which was super dope. So you can work with whatever you have. However, with the cinema rig, there are certain qualifications. Netflix has certain camera qualifications. Netflix, YouTube, not YouTube, I'm sorry, Netflix, Hulu, Tubi, all these different platforms all have particular and specific specs that your camera has to be in order to upload them onto those platforms. So for me, knowing that I wanted to actually film movies, I had no choice but to upgrade to a camera that would actually be able to hold to those particular standards. And with this particular camera, it actually holds to those standards. Being able to shoot in 422, be able to shoot in ProRes, all those different specs. The bit rate quality, everything matters. And so when someone asks about, so like older clients with the DSLR, well, how a music video could go from, you know, $500 up to, $1,000 with the DSLR camera. Well, with the cinema camera, a starting price range for a music video using a cinema camera, and this camera in particular, you're looking at 5,000. That's a starting rate. And again, it will always, it always depends on the actual creator themselves, the filmmaker, the cinematographer themselves. So even starting at $2,000, you can start at that $2,000 mark if you like. However, again, the quality of the DSLR, even though it's a beautiful quality, it just does not match the quality of a 4K cinema camera. And like I said, because that cinema camera, you can do so much more with it when you go into post and even pre production with it or whatever, as far as like, for instance, with that DSLR camera, there is not only there were certain tools that that wasn't available to me because of that camera. And I didn't know that because I didn't have a cinema rig. Well, when I got the cinema rig, there was a whole different world of fun little, softwares and things of that nature that was opened up to me. But again, I didn't know that until I actually got my hands onto the cinema camera. Again, so with the filming a music video for $500 to like $1,000 with the DSLR, and one of the biggest reasons why it costs so much more with the cinema rig is because there's more that goes into it. Because again, you have to remember, the cinema camera doesn't have a stabilization on it. The cinema camera doesn't have automatic focus. Not only that, when it comes to shooting and filming a music video, and I don't care if you have a DSLR or if you have a cinema rig, if you Google and you research, you yourself will find that a standard, industry standard music video starts at $10,000. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it jumped up nowadays to like $50,000. However, last time that I looked, an industry standard music video is going to run you at a minimum, a bare bone base minimum of $10,000. I don't care what record company you sign with. I don't care what record company you sign with. Let me say that again. I don't care what record company you sign with. A minimum of $10,000 is going to go into that video. And like I said, that was a while ago. And if I'm not mistaken, the last time I looked it up, I believe it's up to like $50,000 now. But anyway, there's a reason. Not only just due to the experience that these individuals have, the years and years of experience, with a cinema camera, there's a person that is controlling the camera. You have your camera operator. All they do is focus strictly on camera, everything camera. So the camera, the lens, all that, that's all they do. They run and control the camera, nothing else. Well, there is another guy or young lady that is sitting off to the side of that camera operator. Their job is called a focus puller. So that focus puller, what they do is, while this person is pointing and aiming that camera wherever the director wants them to aim it, the job of the focus puller is to make sure they have a monitor and it has a wheel on it, and all they do is keep the subject in focus. So they turn it left, right, wherever that subject goes, there's a focus puller behind there. So again, so that's two different jobs right there already, right? So you have the one person that just focus on the camera, aiming, pointing the camera where it's supposed to be. One job. Focus puller, that's a second job. That's their job, is to keep that individual in focus. Other than the camera operator and the focus puller, obviously you have your directors and things of that nature. But once everything has been filmed, right? Well, and actually, let's take it back. So you got your camera operator, you got your focus puller, you got your set design. But even before the set design, you have your location scout. You have your location scout. The job and the strict and specific job of a location scout is exactly how it sounds. They go out into the world. Once the client has brought the concept to the actual table and it's a green light on everything, it's then sent down to the location scout. That location scout, it is their job to go out and find the perfect locations to film whatever it is, music videos, short films, movie, whatever it is, So now that's three jobs right there: the camera operator, the focus puller, and then you have the your location scout, right? So that's three different jobs. So now you have these three different jobs so far. After having your location scout, then guess what? Your lighting and sound crew have to go to that location with them to test out and basically run tests to make sure and kind of eyeball about lighting. What time of day should they film? What time of night should they film? Where does the sun sit at this time and that time and whatnot? And again, that's your lighting tech. And then you have your sound tech that also attends and goes with that. Again, to try to figure all these different things out. So that's 5 different jobs, 5 different hats. Camera operator, focus puller, your drawing a blank. Your camera operator, your focus puller, your location scout, your sound tech, and your lighting tech. So that's 5 different positions. Now, we'll even go. Well, I'll even skip past like the setting design and all that. No, because I can't. Because all of it matters. I can't skip past it. So then once these locations are figured out and all these kind of things are figured out, then you have your set design, your project manager, whatever you want to call them, whatever field you're in. However, they go and they figure out if this candlestick is going to be right here, if this apple is going to be right here, if this couch is going to be right here? How far away from that wall is that couch going to be? Well, they're the ones, the set designer put all of that stuff into place. That's 6 different jobs. 6 different jobs. Now we're still just talking about, and we're going to keep it strictly to music videos. That's 6 different jobs so far for one 3-minute music video, right? So those 6. And so let's do this. Let's say all of it is filmed, right? You finished, completed filming it, and all those people have done their jobs. Now you have to take it to post. So now there's a colorist that's involved, and the colorist is the person that they color grade it. They bring all the colors out and make sure everything just looks good, right? That's their job. That's all they do is focus on coloring, making sure that it's fly, that it's dope, that you get those loud colors that pop out on those on that video or that movie. And then you have the editor. Well, the editor's job, they just slice and dice. They put it together and help it to make sense. That's the job of the editor, to make sure that all these different sequences that were filmed, they all come together and tell the story properly and effectively. So hopefully this is kind of like sinking in, and hopefully this is helping somebody who's might be out there saying, oh man, it's too much to film for this, and it costs too much, this person charging this much or whatever. There's a reason for all of that, especially like I said, DSLR versus a cinema rig. There are certain rigs, even with this particular rig right here, the Black Magic joint. Yeah, I can go out and do some things on my own and by myself, which is what I've been doing. I had some help once upon a time. Great help too, and I appreciated her for that. However, there are certain rigs that you just absolutely cannot bypass having help and having assistance with those rigs, and again, when you're having, this is why filmmakers, cinematographers, as well as photographers, that's why we ask, what is your budget? Your budget will dictate to us exactly how far we can go. Not even just how far we can go, it dictates to us pretty much just the limitations, man. I mean, there's really just no other way to put it. Like I said, so a person that has a $500 budget, you can't expect your video to look like a $2,000 budget. And if you have a $2,000 budget, you can't expect your video to look like a $5,000 budget. I mean, it's just, you can get it close to that. However, if the $500 budget guy is trying to compete with the $5,000 budget guy, of course it's going to be different. Of course it's going to look different. You know what I'm saying? Because the $500 budget guy may want, you may want, I want a Lamborghini. I want this in my video. I want this model in my video. You working with $500. It's not to knock it. I'm not knocking that or shaming that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. However, you have to be reasonable and understand, hey, you have $500. This person over here has $5,000. Because he has that $5,000 and he said he want a Rolls Royce in his video, out of that $5,000 budget, I'm able to go and rent that Rolls Royce that he needs for that music video. Or he wants a certain type of a young lady in the video, a supermodel type of a young lady or whatever. Then guess what? I have to place that call, but because he has that $5,000 budget, I can place that call and say, hey, this is the budget that I'm working with, and this is what we are able to pay. So your budget can and it will affect the outcome. It doesn't mean that you won't still have a good product. It doesn't mean that you still won't have a quality product. However, you just have to understand and you have to respect the business aspect of it, because somebody will say, just because a filmmaker may say, oh yeah, it's going to be $5,000, we don't take that $5,000 and put it into our pocket. And the reason being is because we know that, okay, if you have $5,000, this right here is how much I'm going to make out of that. So knowing that I'm going to make X, Y, and Z amount out of this $5,000 music video, this right here is what I have to be able to make all this other stuff happen. Whether, like I said, whether someone wants a car in there, they want, one or two different young ladies to be in the video. And again, locations. You have to pay for these locations. Especially if you're in a place where you don't have the resources. Excuse me. So, somebody may want like a upscale type of a video, or beautiful room or something like that. Well, or like a beautiful home. Well, there's a website called Peerspace, and I'll put that up here in this link, or put this in this video rather. Well, you can go to Peerspace and you can go and search and hunt and find the exact type of location that you want to use. However, in most cases, it'll run you $300. And again, it always just depends on the budget and what you're trying to capture. However, because you can find places on there for $50 an hour. Most of them have a minimum of like 3 hours. Some have a minimum of 5. Again, just always depending. My biggest thing and my biggest thing is that you have to understand and respect the fact that what you're getting from and out of this cinema camera versus the DSLR camera. And again, don't get me wrong and don't get it twisted. There are some DSLR cameras, this new age, this new generation of cameras or whatever. Man, they dope, they tight. The R5s, R10s, man, that whole series right there, those are some fly cameras to me. However, I just say this, and like I said, and I felt that it was important to make this video because, again, you have to invest in your goals and your dreams. The more that you invest into yourself, the more people are willing to help you out. The reason why I've acquired a majority of the things that I have, it wasn't that I had the money to purchase everything all by myself all the time. There were people, certain people that watch me just sit and study and research different, movies and different software and different things like that. So they themselves decided, hey, I know you keep talking about this or talking about that, so I would like to invest and help you, get this or get that. So they saw what I was doing and they saw how I was moving. They saw that I was using and appreciating everything that I already had. And again, one of the biggest things is that they saw all the man hours I put into studying and watching these YouTube videos, and even calling friends that I knew were in the business, and again just researching. Between researching, praying, and just working towards those things, it's how I acquired everything that I have. And again, like I said, when it comes to money, when it comes to these films, when it comes to these music videos, just because a person is charging you, or just because a price is what this price is, I don't care if it's $500, $2,000, $5,000, $30,000. You have to understand and respect the fact that the more that you put into it, yeah, the more in depth that project will be able to go into. Like I said, you can't compare a $500 video to a, you know, $5,000 video. It's just, to me, it just doesn't make sense. Um, but you have to invest in you. You have to invest in you. The more that people see you doing, investing into yourself, and it's like this: if you don't want to invest in yourself, don't expect anybody else to invest in you. That's to me, that's just foolish. I'm gonna just call it what it is. To me, this is foolish to literally have or desire somebody to invest in you when you're unwilling to invest in yourself. It just makes no sense to me. I don't get that. I don't understand that in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Um, and I think I just filmed this whole video with me being out of focus, y'all. I hope not, but we'll see. Uh, anyways, um, yeah, I just wanted to make this video, and I felt a need, and I felt it was necessary, because I hear a lot of filmmakers, and I hear a lot of cinematographers and photographers say, "Oh man, don't nobody want to pay this price, and don't nobody want to pay that price." Um, God will eventually put you around the people that you need to be around for you to earn those dollars and cents. And a lot of times in the beginning of this, man, you just got to film for free, and you got to take photos for free so that people can actually see what you can do. Because if people feel that you're worth it, they'll pay it. If people feel you're worth it, they will pay it. Period, point blank. If somebody comes across your footage and feel that you are worth 5,000 or 10,000 or whatever, they will pay it without question, without doubt, because they've seen your work and they feel that it is worth it, and they feel that you and your time are worth that. So, yes. That being said, my bad. I'm looking at the screen. What is that showing right now? That's on YouTube. Why is that on YouTube? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the thing. Anyway, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful day. All that kind of good stuff. Until next time. And please like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Comment below.